Good morning, my dear students. Previous class we discussed the animal kingdom part 2 from the phylum Chordata and pisces. In pisces are the two kinds, cartilaginous fish, that means chondrichthyes. Bony fishes are the ascites. The general characters and some specific characters and examples we already discussed. Now we are going to know about the next superclass is Tetrapoda. You know already tetra means four, poda means foot or legs. There are two pairs of pentatactile limbs, two pairs, four limbs. Tetrapods are divided into four classes. One is amphibia, reptilia, aves, and the last one is mammals. So mostly these four classes have some similar characters are there. All tetrapods are the three-chambered, two-chambered or four-chambered heart, and the two pairs of the limbs for locomotory organs. And one more important thing for tetrapods, some are the cold-blooded animals, some others are the warm-blooded animals. Among these, amphibia, reptilia are cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals otherwise called goiklothermic or ectothermic animals. What is called cold-blooded animals? They do not maintain the constant body temperature. So it cannot tolerate the extreme heat or extreme cold. During that time they escape and they cannot maintain the constant body temperature. Hence they are called as goiklotherms. In the case of aves and mammals are called as warm-blooded animals. Warm-blooded animals otherwise called homeothermic animals or endothermic animals. Because this wide variety is able to tolerate in different surrounding temperature, which maintain the constant body temperature. And one more thing, that the embryonic membrane, there are four types of embryonic membranes are there. One is amnion, chorion, allantois, yolk sac. There are four embryonic membranes. Based on the presence of embryonic membranes, there are two kinds. One is amniota. Another one is amnieta. Anamnieta and amnieta. The anamnieta means without amnion membrane. The embryonic, extra-embryonic membrane, the embryo is surrounded by four membrane: amnion, chorion, allantois, yolk sac. But in this case, no amnion membrane. For example, amphibians, reptile fishes have no amnions. What is called amniota? Presence of amnion. For example, aves and mammals have four extra embryonic membranes are there. So these are based on the presence. An amniot, another one is called amniot. Now, so we will discuss the general characters of amphibia, reptilia, aves and mammals with their examples. Is amphibia. Sorry, first class is amphibia. Amphibia. Amphi means two or both. Bios means like. Bios means like. These are originated from the evolutionary point of view or geological time scale is Devonian period. But golden age of amphibians. Golden age of amphibians is Carboniferous age. Carboniferous age. Now we want to know the general characters of the amphibia. So step by step, the first one, habitats and habits. So this is the first vertebrates that are cold-blooded. The first cold-blooded vertebrates or the amphibians from the evolutionary point of view. Even though this is the first animals comes from the water to land. It do not permanently stay in the land because they are dependent on water for reproduction purpose. And because their eggs not protective covering for checking of evaporation. Hence, these are called as amphibious nature. Amphibious nature. What is called amphibious nature? That means double mode of life. Double mode of life. So these are present in freshwater as well as terrestrial or land. Water and land and moist land. So amphibians not found in the marine water. So these are the habitats. The next character is body form and body wall. The body is divided into mainly two regions. One is head, another one is trunk. These two regions. But some amphibians are tail. There are three regions. The tails are absent in frog and toe. Frog and toe. The body is divided into mainly two regions. In addition to tail also present, but tail is absent in frog and toe, head and trunk. Body wall. This is important. There is no exoskeleton. In frog, have no exoskeleton. But very important feature is that the body surface or skin of the frog is always smooth, moist, and glandular. Because they contain mucus glands. They always keep the body surfaces moist and smooth. That is a smooth, moist and glandular. This is one of the, no epidermal scales are present, but the glandular region is present. And the vascular layer. So the gases exchange occurs between the environment and the bodies to the skin. Because skin is fully supplied with blood capillaries. This is another important character. In the skin of the amphibian contain a specialized pigmented cells are called chromatophores. That is a pigmented cells. These chromatophores are responsible for coloration of the frog. These pigment cells, in some of the frog change their body color according to the background by expansion and contraction of the pigment cells. This kind of phenomenon is called metachrosis. So note it, what is metachrosis? Few amphibians ability their body color change according to the surrounding or matching to the surroundings. This occurs due to the presence of pigmented cells. This kind of phenomenon is called metachrosis. This color changes, the body color changes is camouflage adaptation. Underline, this is called as camouflage adaptation or camouflage mimicry. So this is another one, advanced characters. Next is locomotion. So all amphibians have, except a few, that is two pairs of limbs, that is the four limbs. These four limbs are, number is four. But these are two categories. Two are the four limbs, that means front. Two are the hind limbs. What is the difference between these? Four limbs are short and stumpy, have 4 digits. 4 digits. Hind limbs are 5 digits or 5 toes, which helps in the standing or leaping, these limbs. The hind limbs is important characters, longer and folded forms. It has 5 digits. This 5 digits. Arthros. A special character is found in hind limbs. Each digits are folded, is connected with the fold of skin or muscle. This is called webbed feet. Webbed feet. So the webbed feet is found in between the digits, a fold of muscle between the digits. When the frog digits are withdrawn, it is folded skin is present, which helps in the swimming. The folded webbed feet is present. These are called locomotory organs. Some animals having, that is along with the tail, or some other limbless. There is no limbs. For example, Caecilian. These are the limbless amphibians. Limbless amphibians. Before that, knowing that some of there is no exoskeleton, even the exoskeleton is present beneath the skin, that are present in some other Caecilian amphibians. These are the locomotory organs. Next one is digestive system of the amphibians. The mouth is terminal mouth, a snout part, and a mouth which contains upper jaw and the lower jaws have the teeth. The tongue is 5-feet tongue. Bifid tongue. Bifid means it divides into 2 at the terminal part. The tongue of the frog is anteriorly attached, posteriorly free. But our tongue is posteriorly attached with the floor of the buccal cavity, anterior is free end. But in the case of frog, anterior is attached to buccal cavity, posterior is free. The posterior free end is divides into 2 flaps. So this structure which help them, the frog immediately withdraw its tongue outside of the mouth and touches with the insect, or it helps to prey. This is the tongue region. What are the teeth? The teeth always homodont, another one is accrudent, and other type of the teeth, that is polyperiodont. Homodont means similar size, similar type of the teeth. Accrudent means the teeth is attached with the superficial layer of the gum, and another one is polyperiodont means many set of the teeth. The alimentary canal of the amphibians begins with the mouth and ends with the cloaca. So you know already the cloaca is a common opening for 3 systems of our body: digestive system, excretory system, reproductive system. The cloaca open outside through the cloacal aperture. So these are another important characters. That is a digestive system. So mostly this is the carnivorous animals, amphibians. Next, the respiration. Respiratory system or respiration. No, the respiratory organs of frog are 3 or 4. One is gills, next lungs, another one is buccopharyngeal cavity and skin. There are 4 respiratory organs. So the frog during the larval stage, they respire through the gills. Sometimes it is a salamander. Note it, salamander respire through their gills even in tadpole stage, larval stage as well as adult. The lungs are the respiratory organs of the adult frog. So that comes on the land from the water. And the buccopharyngeal cavity, this kind of special respiration takes place in the buccal cavity. During this kind of respiration, the mouth remains closed, the nostrils are opened. So the air enters through the nostrils and the air passes into the buccal cavity. Slowly, the lower region of the buccal cavity rises and lower. So this immediately, this air, the oxygen from the air is exchanged or passed into the blood capillaries in the buccal cavity. So one of the question is asked, during buccopharyngeal respiration, the mouth is remain closed, the nostril is open. So the nostril, through the nostril, air is passes. This is the buccopharyngeal cavity. This kind of respiration takes place in land. And another, mostly the respiration takes place in the skin is cutaneous respiration. The respiration through the gills are called bronchial respiration. Respiration through the lungs is pulmonary respiration. Respiration by the mouth cavity is buccopharyngeal cavity. Another one is respiration through the skin is called cutaneous. Cutaneous means skin. Most of the times the frog respire through the skin in the water or in the land. And a special kind of the adaptation is present in the frog. There are two. One is called hibernation, another one is called estivation. Hibernation, next one is estivation. What is hibernation? That is winter sleep. Hibernation means what? Winter sleep. Estivation means summer sleep. Summer sleep. So during the extreme cold condition, the frog cannot tolerate the extreme cold. During that time, they remain dormant stage, inactive stage. So they are not possible to come out because extreme cold. These are called cold-blooded animals. Cold-blooded animals or boichlothermic animals. So during the winter season, they do not tolerate the extreme cold from the environment. They undergo hibernation. At the same time, during the summer month, the extreme heat, this heat cannot be tolerated by the frog. It undergoes estivation. So during this hibernation, mostly use the respiratory organ or the skin. So the skin is mucus always supplied with the blood capillaries. This easiest exchange of the gases. So this is the respiratory system. Mostly that is 65% of respiration is occurred by the lungs or pulmonary respiration. So the lungs are the spongy-like structure, a pair of lungs. That gases exchange is occurred. The next system is nervous system. What is the nervous system and the sense organ? There are 10 pairs of the cranial nerves. 10 pairs of the cranial nerves. All the cranial nerves are arise from the brain. 10 pairs of cranial nerves. Under the brain is well developed. These are covered by cranial box. Cranium is entirely it is the cartilaginous, but body is the bony endoskeletonous form. These 10 pairs of cranial nerves are arise from the brain. These are the nervous system, and the spinal cords are well developed, and the sense organs also is well developed. In sense organ, eyes are photoreceptors. Eyes are made up of two eyelids, upper eyelids and lower eyelids. Lower eyelids. Upper eyelid is what? There is a immobile. Lower eyelid is movable. Movable ones. And another membrane is present is called nictitating membrane. That is the third eyelid. Third eyelid. That is the eye. Is a photoreceptor. Is a bulging eyes. Ear. There is no external ear. Not it. Only the middle ear and the internal ear. The middle ear covered by tympan. Tympanic membrane. Tympanic membrane. Another system is lateral line sense organ. Lateral line sense organ are present. This lateral line sense organ is well developed in fish. This acts as the rheoreceptor. In fish it is very important. Rheoreceptor means sensitive to vibration, and also it helps to water currents. So the fishes or it may be frog swimming very close to each other, but without collide, without touches with each other, due to the presence of lateral line sense organ. In fishes are well developed, but in frog is only present in embryonic stage. Embryonic stage, that means tactile stage. Lateral line sense organ. This is the rheoreceptors. Lateral line sense organ acts as the rheoreceptors. This is the nervous system. Another one is excretory system. excretory system, removal of nitrogenous waste from the body. So there are three main nitrogenous waste: ammonia, urea and uric acid. But in the case of tadpole or normal stage, their excretory waste is ammonia. Their excretory waste is ammonia. But adult form, they excrete urea. Hence the amphibians are called as ureotelic animals. Ureotelic animals. The tadpole is ammonia, this is aquatic forms. But adult is land or terrestrial. Their excretory waste, these are the urea. What is it? Urea. The next system is what? Reproductive system. Reproductive system. The reproduction is unisexual. Male and female are separate. But males have lack of copulatory organs. There is no copulatory organ in males. The sexual dimorphism are well developed in frog. Sexual dimorphism. What is sexual dimorphism? Male and female, the two sexes are different from one to others. The sexual dimorphism are well developed in male frog. There are two sexual dimorphism. One is the presence of vagal sacs. Another one is nuptial pad. Nuptial pad or copulatory pad. Vagal sacs is present in only male frog. During the rainy season or during the reproductive breeding season, the lower jaw becomes bulges. It produces sound. Because of vagal sacs. And the nuptial pad, it is a small bulgy part, is present in the forelimbs of the frog on the ventral surface. These are forelimbs. Forelimbs have how many digits? 4 digits. Nuptial pad is located in the ventral surface of first digit. This helps for the breeding, that is the male and the female frog. The nuptial pad and vagal sac present in male frog, these are absent in female frog. These are the sexual dimorphic character, is the reproduction. The reproduction is occur external reproduction, external fertilization. During the breeding season, male release the sperms, female release the eggs. The fertilization takes place outside of the body in water medium. So they must need water for reproduction or fertilization. This kind of fertilization is external fertilization. Some other case of the frog or internal fertilization takes place. Here is the external fertilization. So the eggs are mesolicital. Note it. Eggs are the mesolicital egg. Mesolicital egg. What is called mesolicital egg? The egg contains moderate amount of the yolk. Animal pole having nucleus, vegetal pole containing yolk. This egg, for example, vegetal pole containing, this is animal pole, next one is vegetal pole. Why this is the differentiated? The nucleus present at the one end is animal pole, another end is called the vegetal pole. This moderate amount of yolk is present, hence it is called as mesolicital. The frog egg is mesolicital, moderate amount of, not maximum and minimum, moderate amount of yolk is present. The cleavage is always unequal and holoblastic. Unequal and holoblastic. Why it is unequal and holoblastic? As a result of cleavage, the blastomeres are formed. These blastomeres not equal size. These two kind of blastomeres are formed. One is larger, another one is smaller. This is called unequal. Holoblastic means what? The cleavage that occurs all surface of the egg. For example, this egg, it is a divides into how many egg? That is 2. Again it is 4. So in all surface, the entire egg is clouded into many cells. Hence it is called holoblastic. Okay, these are some of the reproductive techniques. The development is indirect development. Indirect development. In amphibians have 2 larvae. You know, tadpole is larva of the frog. Another larva is there. That larva is axolotl larva. This larva is salamander. The larva of the salamander is axolotls. Hence, this development is indirect. So, note it. What is the direct development and indirect development? If the animals having no larval stage, they are called as direct. They have larval stage are called indirect. Okay. So, these are some information, general characters and specific characters of these amphibians. Amphibians have three orders. Because amphibia are the class, they have three orders. The first order is Gymnopeon, or this is otherwise called as Apoda. The second order, Chordata or Urodela. The third order is Aneura or Salientia. There are three orders. The Gymnopeon and Apoda. You know what is Apoda? A means what? Absence of limbs. Hence these are called, what is it? Limbless amphibians. What is the example of limbless amphibians? No legs or limbs. For example, Sicilian, like a snake, there is no limbs. Sicilian are commonly called as blind worms. Example is Sicilians or Ethiopies. These are commonly known as blind worms. Male has copulatory organ. Note it. Copulatory organs. The fertilization is internal fertilization. Okay. These are called Gymnopeon. That means Apoda. That are limbless amphibians. For example, Sicilians. They are called blind worms. Second is Chordata or Urodela. Chordate means what? Tail. Euro means tail. So these are called tailed amphibians. Which have tailed amphibians. What is the example of tailed amphibians? Salamander is a tailed amphibians. So these respiratory organs are the gills in larval stage as well as adult stage. Salamander, the male have lack of copulatory organs. The fertilization also internal fertilization. That is a salamander. One of the characteristics present in salamander is neoteny. Neoteny characters. Neoteny otherwise called pedogenesis. The larva fail to become adult, but it attains sexual maturity. This is called as neoteny or pedogenesis. The third one is called Aneura or Salientia. These are example is frog and toad. These are tailless amphibians. No tail. So these are common characters of the frog already we know. So that is a frog without a tail, limbs and internal fertilization. So this. So most of the frog are oviparous. What is called oviparous? Lay eggs and hatch into young ones. That is a oviparous. These are frog and toad. These are common features already we know. So these are the example. Other example of the frog. Other examples, Rana tigrina. This is commonly Indian bullfrog or common frog. Another one is Rana colia. These are the largest frog. largest frog. Another one is pillow bats. Pillow bats are the smallest frog. Smallest frog. Hyla. Note it, these are tree frog. Tree frog. Hyla is a tree frog. Rhacoporus. Rhacoporus. Rhacoporus are flying frog. Flying frog. Next one is Alex. Alex is a midwife frog. Midwife frog. So these are the frog varieties. Toads. Toads are commonly known as bufo. Bufo is the toads. Bufo is commonly known as common toad. Pipa is one of the Suriname toad. Suriname toad. What is the difference between the frog and the toad? Frog present freshwater as well as water as well as land. But Pipa toad is purely terrestrial. Purely terrestrial. The exoskeleton is present in Pipa. The exoskeleton or a small bulgy-like structure is called warty or warts. A small bulgy area is present on the skin in Pipa. This bulgy area which produces a toxin is called bifutas. Bifutas. Bifutoxin are produced by parotid gland. Parotid glands. Bifutas. This warts is not present in the frog. These are terrestrial habit. The body has small bulgy area. They are called as warts, and the limbs and digits and toes without whip. Without whip. So these are the some characters of the toads. Next is the parental character of the toads. So well developed parental character, for example, Alex, the male frog have parental characters. Always keep their eggs on its thigh region or back till it hatch into tadpoles. That is a male Alex have a parental character. And the pipa, that is a Suriname toad. This also female pipa carries the tadpoles on its a small pits till matured into adults. And the next one is Ethiopis. Ethiopis. Ethiopis are the limbless amphibians. They also having parental care, but in female Ethiopis always surround her body around the egg till hatching. So these are the some parental characteristics present both the frog and the toad. Okay, so these are characters of the amphibians. Second class is reptilia. Reptilia. Second class. Class 2. Reptilia. Reptilia are commonly called as creeping vertebrates. Creeping vertebrates. The reptilia are originated from the Devonian period, but the golden age of reptiles are Mesozoic era. The golden age of reptiles are Mesozoic era. Mesozoic era. Study of reptiles are called herpetology. Herpetology. The first reptile is stem reptilia. Stem reptilia, or it is called Coleoptera, Cotylops, or Cotylosaurus. Cotylosaurus is the first reptilia. Okay, these are the first terrestrial animals. Reptilia are the first terrestrial animals. The habitats. The first character is habitat. The reptiles found both freshwater and the terrestrial habitat, but it is mostly the terrestrial habitat. It is living on the land surfaces. Next one is body form, and body worm. The body is divided into 3 or 4 regions. One is head, next neck, next trunk or body, trunk and tail. So these are the 4 important structures. One of the important characters, the limbs have. So that is the body form and the body wall. Body wall. They have epidermal scales on its body. They have exoskeleton. Exoskeleton made up of horny scales which are present. Thick and dry and horny scales are present without glands. That means exoskeleton. The endoskeleton are made up of bones. So that is a body wall. Next, the limbs. That means locomotion. Locomotion of the reptiles. There are 2 pairs of the pentadactyl limbs. That means 4 limbs. 2 are the front limbs, 2 are the back limbs. The important characters of the limbs, the digits or terminal end of the digits have claws which are present. Digits with claws are curved nails. These locomotory organs which help them to is closely attached to the substrate of the ground. So this is called as locomotory organs and tail. The next system is, that means endoskeleton. The endoskeleton is what type of endoskeleton? In frog, amphibians is dicondylic skull. In amphibians, there are 2 occipital condyles attached with vertebra. What is the name of first vertebra? Atlas. Second vertebra is axis, but the second vertebra axis is absent in amphibians. The 2 occipital condyles is attached only one atlas is the first vertebra. Hence they are called as dicondylic, but in the case is monocondylic. That vertebra is a procoelous. This also it is a procoelous vertebra. What is a procoelous? This kind of vertebra, the anterior is concave, the posterior is convex. Anterior side is concave, posterior is convex. This kind of vertebra is procoelous. Central, the vertebra have the central and the neural canals. Neural canals are for the spinal cord enter through the hole, and another central part is a major part of the vertebra. These are also called as body. This kind is called the procoelous. But that is dicondylic. Amphibians are dicondylic. Reptilia are the monocondylic in nature. Next, because only one occipital condyle attached with the vertebra. This is the locomotion. Digestive system. Digestive system are the mostly most of them is a carnivorous in habit. The mouth is there. Mouth is made up of 2 jaws, upper and lower jaws, and the tongue is present. The teeth is accrudent or plurudent, or it may be thecodent and homodent. So that this listen here, accrudent means what? Already I told, that is the teeth are attached to superficies, that is the surface of the jaw bones. What is called plurudent? The teeth is attached to the inner side of the jaw. For example, this is a jaw, the teeth is attached on the surface. This is called accrudent. What is plurudent? This is a jaw, but the teeth is attached to the inner side. These are called chloroodont. Some of the thecodont, reptilia, for example, crocodile. Crocodile teeth is thecodont. The teeth are firmly fixed in the socket. This is called thecodont. And homodont, that is a similar type of the teeth. So the teeth. The alimentary canal is complete. The digestion is extracellular. The alimentary canal begins with the mouth and ends with the cloaca. Note it. The reptilia, the end part is what is it? Cloaca. These are the common opening for the three system: excretory system, digestive system, and reproductive system. Okay. The next respiration. Respiratory system or respiration. Respiration occurs through the lungs. That is pulmonary respiration. But what in the case of turtle or tortoise? A special kind of respiration is occur through the cloaca. This is called as cloacal respiration. For order is what is it? Chilo. Chilo means what? Turtle, tortoise. Order of the turtle or tortoise, chilo. They respire through the cloaca. Hence it is called as cloacal respiration. Remaining are well developed lungs, that is the pulmonary respiration is there. Next system, respiratory. Next one is nervous system. Nervous system are well developed. These also contain 10 pairs of brainy nerves arise from the brain. The sense organs are well developed, that is eye having eyelids and ear having inner, outer and middle ears. And a sensory surface are present in different regions. That is the nerves are developed. That is the brain, and another name is called spinal cord. That is nervous system or nervous coordination. And different sense organs are present. The next system is excretory system. Excretory system. Reptilia are the different, eliminate different kind of the nitrogenous waste. Because they are living in water, that is a fresh water, next to sea water, or it is the land surfaces. For example, crocodile. Crocodile is what? Ammonotili. Note it. Ammonotili, crocodile. And then turtle or tortoise. And alligator. Alligator respire through the urea. Hence it is called ureatic. Snakes and the lizard, their excretory organs are uric acid. Uric acid. Uric acid. That is noted. There are three kinds of nitrogenous excreted by the reptiles. Crocodiles are purely, that is aquatic, hence it is eliminate ammonia, their excretory. Turtle or alligator is urea. Even though they are present in land and water, their natural waste is urea. Snake and lizard, their excretory waste is uric acid. What is, let that point, circulatory system. In frog also, that is circulatory system is made up of heart. In reptilia, the heart is 3.5 chambers or incompletely 4 chambers. Incompletely 4 chambers. The heart chambers. Now it is 2 auricles. 2 auricles, incompletely 1 ventricles. Incompletely 1 ventricles. 1 ventricles. So this diagram is shown that these 2 auricles, this is ventricles. The auricles are separated interauricular septum, but the ventricle partition is not well developed. It is partially is located. So the mixing of the blood, it may be chance in the ventricles. Mixed blood, that is oxygenated and deoxygenated blood mixed in the ventricles. In general, the right auricle receives deoxygenated blood. Left auricle receives oxygenated blood. When the contraction of atria, blood comes into the ventricle, but mixing of the blood because the septa is not fully closed. Hence it is called incompletely poured chambers or pre-end of chambers. Note it, other important things for this crocodile are the completely poured chambers. Crocodiles are the completely poured chambers. So the two auricles, two ventricles are completely poured chambers. So in the case of amphibians, also three chambers, two auricles, one ventricles. They are also mixed blood. Mixed blood passes from the ventricles to the different parts of the body. In amphibians, in addition to auricles and ventricles, there are two accessory chambers. One is sinus venosus, another one is truncus arteriosus are present. In the case of amphibians, three-chambered heart. But here it is four-chambered heart. The blood of amphibians are having the respiratory pigment is hemoglobin, but RBC is biconvex. RBC is biconvex or oval in shape and nucleated cells. The same, the blood of these reptilia are the respiratory pigment is hemoglobin, the RBC is biconvex, nucleated horse. So these are the circulatory system. Next one is reproductive system.